machine. I wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, and if I lose the fight, I still rage against the I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. It's plain and simple, dear. I'll still be here when you're gone. You gather souvenirs, but I will never be your pawn. Your pawn. Your pawn. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. You can double down. I'll still be a proud haven for your love is never love. A river through your bluff, I will be enough, enough, enough. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's no
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Thursday stream. It is Friday Junior, folks. It's finally basically the weekend again. Look at that. Look how quickly the weekend came around. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you hanging out. Yeah, yesterday was kind of weird. Kind of a weird stream, but we're back. Hopefully nothing and no issues happened this time. And if they do, I know what to do. Let me say hello to some people. Nadia, welcome. Seven, welcome. Tropical Ding Dong. How's it going, everybody? Michael Hassler, welcome. Can everybody can everybody see me? Are we good? Actually, I can check the stream. Good. Whoa. Okay. Alright, stream's live. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. Yep, alright, cool. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. What I want to know is how I can simultaneously stream vertical and horizontal for YouTube. That's fascinating. But felt very, just a sound drop, but felt very appropriate for seeing ADT live. Appreciate that. Remember when liberals told us that the language of abolishing ICE was a problem and would push people away from voting for Democrats? Yeah, Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yeah, it doesn't sound so radical anymore, does it? Doesn't sound so radical anymore, does it? Did anyone else watch Prairie Fire's video on why rural voters vote against their own interests, where he didn't talk about rural voters, but only how Democratic voters vote against their own interest? I'm a big fan of Prairie. I'm a big fan of Kowalski. Big fan. The second problem after ICE being radically unpopular is that Democrats are largely a COINTELPRO operation, not really very helpful to vote for. I mean, like, at this point, any Democrat that wants to run for office, and is serious, they have to run on some kind of, they have to run on some kind of anti-ICE platform, whether that be abolishing ICE, prosecuting ICE, whatever flavor. But yeah, it has to be that way, otherwise then nobody should be taking them seriously, and primary those that do not. It's that simple. Yeah, has to end ICE. Yep, whatever flavor you want on top of that, that's entirely up to them. Primary D's nuts. Hey, welcome, CFX. Ladybug, welcome. Another great day in the Polymarket Studios. Yeah, hopefully this time around we won't have as many problems, but we're gonna push. We're gonna push forward. I'm already ready. Okay, I'm already ready to go. Ready to go eat and just play some video games. That's what I want to do. I want to disassociate from the horrific stuff happening. Let's get started, folks. If you want to support the channel, there's the links up there. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. Let's get started. As today, we're just gonna run. We're just gonna run through all this as much as possible.
This is what we're calling him. We're calling him Tony Two Cuts. We got to give Brian ultimate credit for the 2 cuts.
Punched it up for us.
Appreciate it.
Well, that just refers to the fact. I mean, look, it's it's not like you're telling secrets about the guy. The guy wrote an article about how he had himself re-circumcised.
Yes, and I just like to bring it up every time because people may be asking.
Perhaps the requirement nowadays is tankier than a T-72 Muslim socialist with a side of abolishing ICE alongside rest of private property. Yeah, I'm not expecting that out of the Democratic Party. But I am expecting, again, this is just like, if they are of any seriousness, and want to win elections, then, yeah, they have to run on some kind of anti-ICE platform at the very least, and they have to be more stronger than this, okay? Otherwise, then, like, nobody's gonna take them seriously, and that's on them. That was me last night. I watched a really good basketball game for a couple of hours. Yep. I see what you did there, clever. I see. The T72. Sadly, I'm out of town and only got my Nintendo Switch with me. That's all you need. A Butlerian jihad. I understand. Just to get away from the news for a bit. Yep.
How can you get recircumcised? Well, you can't. And he writes about it at length, that it's just, here it is, a bit of, just a cut in your genitalia, because he wanted to, despite he being...
Wait, what's this picture?
No.
Okay.
Churro?
It's
Churro. It's churro.
It's
Yeah,
a-
that's
with a
that's
hot
way- That's
dog
way you
in it.
practice.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
We're quality stuff happening here.
I mean, this is the thing about it that strikes me. Okay, Marty Peretz, who was a vehement neocon Zionist, and a conservative. He's the one who put Andrew Sullivan in there. He was the one who oversaw the sort of like race essentialism.
The Charles Murray bell curve stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And what strikes me
Spice
about
ain't
that
flowing. Hey, Bella Lugrisi, welcome.
is that if I really wanted to appeal to Marty Peretz and show my commitment, taking a second swipe at my penis would be like a way to show a real dedication.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
converting to Judaism, and I'm willing to slice my penis for it.
Now, and here's the thing. And listen, it's
Pretty
not.
isolate that.
It's not.
I'm sure it's already gonna happen.
It's already a Reddit.
I've
Are we
seen.
starting today's meal with desserts like an after? This is like an after dinner news topics. Yeah, kind of. Because it's kind of how we have to do it. I mean, it's gonna get to the point where like I'm just gonna like start streams with like video games or something. I don't know. There's a sci-fi channel that did a comparison of Donald Trump to Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, which might not be that far off, given that he was depicted as a PDF file in the novel. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. That tracks. Another game tonight. Nice.
I've seen Tony Dokapil out in the wild, and I never saw him wearing a yarmulke. So I'm saying, like, so my assumption is that he's a fairly, like, maybe conservative or reform in terms of, and I'm not quite sure that there was any reform rabbis out there going like, well, I gotta see a second scar. My point being, it gives you a sense of just how far this guy may go.
Yes.
To placate his bosses,
Tony
who
Two
may
Cups.
want to see, and that's really the issue. I mean, like it's your body, your choice. If
I
you
know
want,
for the Switch you need a capture card. Incidentally, I have one. I have one. Kodama Lama, welcome. In fairness, I thought that's how it was spelled before it was written down. I was in chat, I thought circumcision was barbaric, got called an anti-Semite. Why? That was kind of weird. Why would you get called an anti-Semite for saying that? That seems kind of strange. I'm not 100% where he got the footage, but the video also features some interesting Choem adverts. In fairness, I thought that's how it's spelled before written down. We need this timeline cleanse. This is gonna be overtime. We need overtime of timeline cleanses. It's like a week's worth of timeline of palette cleansers. Go Miami tonight. All right, hometown. I'm not like excuse my ignorance on sports, but hey, that's where I used to live.
want to go 3 cuts, I say enjoy.
Yeah, everyone has their kinks.
Right. There's nothing. I'm not shaming. I'm not kink shaming anybody. I'm just saying, writing about it in the magazine, now all of a sudden, like, it's not just between you and God, right? I mean,
no.
To be gotten all the editors in New York.
yes. So whatever. That's neither here nor there. But here is just to give you a sense of like how intensely
Oh, the Miami Hurricanes. Nice.
this
I
guy is
recognize that.
interested in essentially like showing his
Gotcha. I hope all you get the care that you need. That's not fun. Not fun as someone who's visited ENTs throughout childhood. You'll notice the theists who've all rationalized the same tend to get all touchy about you pointing out such reasonable judgments. Yep. This clip reminds me of some early internet video clips which also scarred me for life, just like Tippy Two Cups. I know nobody likes sports, but I love it. Well, the majority of port used to have the Emma, the Emma Sports Network, the ESPN. So that's not true. She used to have ESPN. I don't know if that's gonna ever come back. But yeah, I'm just not that knowledgeable about sports. I do watch sometimes soccer, especially like the World Cup. I do tend to watch just for the sake of like watching the countries and whatnot.
his new owners and his new bosses.
So our co-host, fellow sports ball enjoyer left. That's true. That's a shame. Bradley, I want to say.
Desperate he is to please them. I just want to read from before we just give you.
I do remember that, but I wasn't the loyal viewer at that time. No. Well, I mean, maybe she can bring it back with somebody else, with another leftist co-host that can do analysis of sports. Through a left-wing analysis of sports. That'd be cool. They should bring it back. Otherwise, I think that might be a perfect idea for a show. If Emma can't do it. I almost literally typed that out. Fellow sports ball enjoyer. Yeah. That was harmless 90s and early 90s nostalgia. I was a casual viewer. Back to the Future too.
Set the table. It's from Variety. When Variety magazine sees you as as a boot kisser, you may have a little bit of a problem.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay.
The headline or the
What would have been, but that would have been part of telling the whole story. They're talking about how like Dokapul on his first day was like, we're going to tell the whole story. We're not going to, just listen to consultants and experts. We're going to listen to everybody.
I don't know why that was
Not
censored.
that seems to be Dokapul's strong suit or his interest. Elsewhere, in a segment about Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s newly announced and seismic shifts to the recommended vaccine schedule for children, Dokapul began an interview with a CBS News medical journalist by asking what this expert would say to parents out there who are celebrating. Now, we had a doctor on yesterday on the program and made it clear that particularly because of the nature of our healthcare system, that this isn't a question of giving parents an opportunity to opt out. You largely have had an opportunity to opt out for a lot of this, particularly even newborns. Maybe you might have an issue with your school, once you enroll your kid in kindergarten and other, maybe some private schools might say like, we're not letting you in here unless you're vaccinated against certain things.
Yeah.
But certainly in terms of like birth, you have the option.
If I may, like I might seem to take a bit of a more stronger stance on this than most normies would take, but like honestly, having vaccine mandates in schools should be the norm. Like it shouldn't be a choice. Like, I'm sorry, there should be very, very, very little circumstances as to how you can get exemptions from vaccines, and I think most of them, and again, this is just the way I see it, and most of them should be related to health. If you have a provable, you know, what is it, allergy, okay, an allergy that might, you know, might prevent you from getting the vaccine. If you have, I don't know, if you're immunocompromised and the vaccine's just not an option for you, that's what I'm talking about, okay? Other than that, I'm sorry, but like, you're gonna have to get vaccinated if you want to send your kids. Your kids are gonna have to be vaccinated if you want to send them to school with other children, okay? Because like, this is where the line is drawn, right? Because it's one thing, okay, if the it's one thing if you don't take the vaccine and like it only affects you, right? It's one thing, like, hey, look, if that was the case, then Godspeed, okay? God bless. But that's not how that works, okay? That's not how that works, and you are putting all the children at risk, especially, like, the line is drawn like this. You don't get to put my child in danger, okay, because you're some anti-vax lunatic, okay? That's the line, okay? You don't get to put other children's, other parents' children's in danger, because you don't want to vaccinate yours, okay? Homeschool them. Homeschool them. That's that. I agree 100%. You need a very strong reason for not getting someone vaccinated. Yeah, and I mean like medically reason, like a medical reason, a real medical reason. Imposing vaccines on people is objectively less harmful and oppressive than all things considered than imposing wage slavery on us. Right, like, I mean, this is kind of like this is kind of like drunk driving, right? If you want to sit on your couch, if you want to sit on your couch and drink until you pass out, that is God bless, okay? But the moment you decide to get behind the wheel and put other people at risk, that's when it's a problem. It doesn't work that way, Carlos. Same as abortion and circumcision, user choice. Yeah, the difference is, no, actually, I would argue no, because, the difference is if I don't get vaccinated, I'm putting other people at risk, versus if I don't have access to my own, bodily autonomy, right? Very different. Very different, if I may. Does that make sense? I just saw the thumbnail. I was like, mine's Majority Report live. Oof. My kids will never have to be vaccinated because my kids will never come into existence. I mean, that kind of solves the issue, right? The difference is that an abortion or circumcision doesn't affect your neighbor. Correct. It's your that's you exercising your bodily autonomy 1000%. That same should really apply to adults entering various public places. Oh yeah, no, this is across the board. We're just kind of talking about like the context here. I think is the children vaccine. I think they're trying to if I'm correct, they're trying to loosen. If I'm correct, behind the context of all of this is the government's loosening rules of vaccination against hepatitis or something like that. Is what they're referencing. Homeschooling should also be illegal. They just have to get vaccinated. Yeah, it's kind of funny how we all got these folks bitching about vaccines. It's really just a countdown before the next polio epidemic happens. I'm ready. You or your kids not being vaccinated is like you justify drunk driving because you make the choice to drunk drive. Not vaccinating you or your children makes you a hazard for everyone around you. Right. That's exactly the argument. It's funny how he got all these folks to bitch about vaccines. Meanwhile, literally they do circumcisions on what the majority of children born in the US still not a peep from the same folks, but clearly just a straight imposed without consent. And unlike vaccines, there's not a mountain of empirical evidence for any actual value and almost no downside risk. Right. Yeah. It's funny how that works, right? Because like I really did not accept that argument. Like now the left is being hypocritical or whatever, the left TM or the other side is being hypocritical because on one hand they argued that abortions should be legal, but now they want to impose vaccine mandates. It's like, yeah, dude. It's a public health hazard, bro. It's not just you, okay? Like, it'd be different if you contracting a disease like, I don't know, polio or whatever, if that only affected you, if your decision only affected you, then God bless. God bless, you know? You don't want to take the vaccine, whatever, dude. But that's not how the world works, okay? And, as I'm reminded, we live in a society. Kirkenstein's monster, welcome. As it turns out, we live in a society. And the line is drawn when your actions affect other people, then you don't get to trample over other people. This thing called the sense of community and shared values that form the bedrock of the same, and kids inevitably are petri dishes of bacteria brought into close contact with each other in such schools. Therefore, they all have to get vaccines with only doctors determining the appropriate exceptions. 100%. The Republicans said they're trying to get the U.S. population down to 100 million, but they're also trying to deport everyone and take over their countries. Welcome, Sassy. Polio can paralyze adults. It's already reason not to flee the country atop the mass shootings, out-of-control cops and women killing, anti-abortion rubbish, and anti-trans repression. Trust me, I don't blame you. No, if I'm drunk, every child should be drunk as well. I'm America. I don't want a Hitler son and Eva Braun daughter. Approve my damn comments. Your comments have been approved. I approve of your comments.
To say to the nurses and the doctors, like, I'm not going to take those vaccinations, just not going to do it. But because of our medical system, there's a lot of people who have no awareness of the importance of these vaccinations.
Yep.
So they are actually like, don't even get the option to opt out. They're just not even aware of it. Because, you know, we have people who've lost their Medicaid.
You got room for us over there in Germany? I don't know if Germany wants us there. I'm like half joking, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Under this administration, we have people who are underinsured and provided with healthcare, like millions upon millions of people, and particularly low-income people. Anyway, so she says, to parents out there who are celebrating because they thought their kids were obliged to be injected with too many vaccines. He ended the segment by declaring, quote, so parents are going to have some options for themselves, end quote, when to a large portion of the audience, the precise opposite is true. They'll now need a physician consult to obtain a vaccine for their child that was once more easily obtained. Dokapol thanked his guest and announced brashly, you clarified it for us. The guest could be said to have tried his best, despite Dokapol. I mean, when Variety is starting to call you like a unabashed sycophant for the administration hack, you know you've got a problem. But here he is showing that he is independent from this administration.
Oh, yeah.
He's not some Donald Trump boot kisser.
Right.
His Secretary of State, however, though, that may be a different story.
Tonight and only in America, the many lives and many jobs of Marco Rubio, the son of Cuban immigrants and a former Florida senator. He's now the face of U.S. foreign policy and President Trump's point man on Venezuela, all in addition to his roles as Secretary of State, interim national security
Can you
advisor.
pause this? I'm sorry. This would be better served if you had like music from the dating game behind it.
Okay.
It's
Well,
literally.
we can take care of that.
Yeah, let's
okay.
do that. Let's do because it sounds like you're reading off of his credentials to sell him on the hot new woman who's gonna be lucky enough to be Mrs. Secretary of State.
It's like Seacrest
incidentally,
level.
there's a good argument that the Secretary of State is enough of a portfolio. Running a country that you've just decapitated their leadership and then doing 5 other jobs might be a bit of a problem. And you know, like that could be one perspective you might take if you're delivering news to the entire country. The other could be just like, hey, this guy's quite a bachelor. Go ahead.
North Korea profile.
And
Exactly.
a former Florida senator. He's now the face of U.S. foreign policy and President Trump's point man on Venezuela, all in addition to his roles.
This is fantastic stuff happening here. Little Marco.
As Secretary of State, interim national security advisor, and acting national archivist and USAID chief. Whatever you think of his politics, you got to admit it's an impressive resume.
You gotta admit, he's
Now,
hot.
AI memes have added.
What is that thing about? Like whatever you think of his performance in all of these positions, like USAID, where like kids are dying and
Whatever you think about the most material aspect about why we're talking about this guy, you got to admit.
Look at how
His
long the
suit's pretty
resume
nice.
is. Like, why? Who gives about resumes?
You got to admit it's an impressive
Nobody.
resume. And now AI memes have added to that portfolio, casting Secretary Rubio as the new governor.
It's like if Miss Rachel had a chat, then I like that idea. I try to look for this settings on the channel content for YouTube. Yeah, Twitch does that too, by the way. Twitch like hides or likes to hold back comments for like sometimes like the most innocuous stuff, and it's funny because sometimes Twitch doesn't even let me approve them. Like people will say, oh, I made a comment, and it just never shows up on my moderation thing. However, Twitch is still somehow easier to navigate than this stuff. By the way, I'm still looking for the content moderation on the live side. It's fantastic stuff. TechNate is one theory about Greenland, but Ronald Lauder is the other. The connections to both exist. Maybe it's like Iraq, where everyone involved brought a different motive to the table, and sales pitch to the public had nothing to do with any of them. Quite possibly. Criminal Broadcasting Service, CBS. I like that one.
Governor of Minnesota, the new Shah of Iran, the Prime Minister of Greenland, the new manager of Manchester United,
AI,
the head of Hilton Hotels,
God.
and highest of high honors of all, the new Michelin Man. Now, back in real life, of course, these memes may not add up to much, but for
Can we
Rubio's
get
hometown
is there
fans,
like a screenshot of
Men-
this?
the Prime Minister of Greenland, the new manager of Manchester United,
AI,
the head of Hilton Hotels, and highest of high honors of all.
Yeah, I need this as a meme, okay? I need this as a meme. It's in YouTube. It's YouTube Studio settings. Okay,
The
I guess I
new
was in the
Michelin
wrong
Man.
one.
Now, back in real life, of course, these memes may not add up to much, but for Rubio's hometown fans, which are many around here in Miami, it is a sign of how Florida, once an American punchline, has become a leader on the world stage. Marco Rubio, we salute you. You're the ultimate Florida man. And that's another day in America and in Miami.
I mean, just a shameless guy.
Yeah. By the way, Florida is still a laughingstock. Florida is 100% still a laughingstock. I don't want to pop out the dashboard. Why is this so difficult? Channel level settings. Okay. Well, no, it's just an overlay setting. Stream settings. Okay. Nope. I love this. Is this the overlay thing so the chat comes up on the screen? No, the chat can come up on the screen. I have the I usually have that on the main on the main kind of thing, but I kind of just showed this screen here. What I hate about YouTube, the studio settings, is like there's so many options. Like there's settings that are for your channel. There's settings for your stream. There's setting. This is absurd. No, it's not RestreamBot. It's YouTube. It's YouTube. Nadia's correct.
Man, I cannot believe, honestly, like, how do you say that with your muscles being able to go up like this while your teeth would be so gnashing if you had an ounce of dignity?
He has a massive monitor behind him
Dignity.
showing him his bank account.
Right.
Exactly.
Live up
That's
there.
right. That's right in front of. That's like literally split screen. Here's the scrolling teleprompter, and just sort of like the meter ticking on his bank account. Right, double screen there.
Do you think that the White House? What? Go ahead.
I'm just gonna play
World stage. Marco Rubio, we salute you.
Unbelievable. But do you think that the White House got those AI images directly linked from the White House for people in Rubio's camp to put up there? Because that's the kind of thing that a stupid like political campaign would put out to be like, look, the kids are loving Marco right now. They're putting him in a clown suit. They're putting him in
Gen Z
this.
loves Marco Rubio.
And it's like an ancillary point to this, right? But like,
Chat censorship here is quite sophisticated. Yeah, it doesn't need to be. It really doesn't. Like, it's called features. You're looking at a bunch of features.
the
No, but
fact
it's
that
called settings. Like
the
within
news
my
is using
within my live stream, like YouTube Studio. Okay, within the studio. Okay, you have channel level settings. Okay, so what's going on with the channel level settings? Nope, it's actually just overlays. Okay, can I look at stream settings? Yeah, you can put your key, your title, and any additional settings are auto start, 360 video, closed captioning. It's where is the other stuff? Because I can moderate comments on the regular YouTube videos. I found that, but it doesn't show me where I can edit that for here. Traded their dignity for 30 pieces of silver and a Labubu. The right art mind heals the word dignity and returns a 404 file not found error 100%. Florida is filled with migrants that fled a country where they blame their hardships on socialism instead of U.S. sanctions and meddling and a bunch of old people on retirement, i.e. conservative. Yep. 100%. I think there's a huge difference between intention and results in these situations, i.e. if I wake up and my house is in another country because we got invaded, not because I moved. Yeah. Looks like Mercado Media is going to go live later covering the protests in Minnesota. Nice.
AI generated images. I don't care if they put the disclaimer on there. Like, there should be precedent set that news organizations shouldn't be putting out images like that, even if they're doctored, even if you have that little acknowledgement. But that's the layer of sycophancy here, is because Trump is betting the whole farm about the economy on AI. And I would not be shocked if they're trying to work in more AI hype into their already glazing puff piece about Marco Rubio, because that's a part of this too.
I just think that it's just sort of like, you've got, what, a half an hour for the national news?
Yeah.
Do you really have, like, I mean, it was, regardless of what, but nothing.
Oh, there we go. Hello, hello, are we back? Are we back? Did I break the stream? Are we back? Hello. Florida radio is great for calling them socialists. Yep. Ask me how I know. Sasha. Okay, we're back. All right. We continue.
Beyond like a sort of just, an afterthought to claim that Venezuela was any type of material threat to this country. Like, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And we just performed regime change on it, basically probably for, I don't know, a half dozen hedge funders. I mean, this isn't like, we don't even get the excuses of like, we don't want the smoking gum to be a mushroom cloud. Like, they don't even bother with that. It's, we just spent whatever millions upon billions of dollars in chasing boats around the world to pirate, oil tankers, to keep a dozen warships off the coast of Venezuela, to keep 10 to 15,000 Marines off the coast of Venezuela, killed 75 people who were no threat to any American anywhere. And we just did it for the sake of, and we did it all nakedly. And you would think that on a 30-minute newscast, not including commercial breaks, that when you're talking about the administration, you wouldn't have time to go like, look at the funny cost.
All right, so hey, I might have figured it out. Bad Lefty, welcome. I might have figured it out after milling about this thing while this video was playing. We'll see. Two bad lefties? No, there's only one bad lefty. Then again, my memory of Florida radio's way back, like in the early 80s at least. Yeah, socialista, comunista. Los demócratas son socialistas. Bah. They're putting the money from Vuvuzela invasion into offshore accounts. Yep. That's right. Professions charged with most directly supporting state authority, example, military and police, means retirees are primed to be reactionary because they're little micro-capitalists, basically, dependent on whatever micro hoards of wealth they've managed to accumulate for income, totally at the mercy and vagaries of inflation. Yep, at least that's what they're sold. They keep lying about fleeing from Fidel Castro, and actually they left because of Batista. Khaki, thank you for the follow. Oh, look, we got a raid. Welcome. Hey, folks. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Bunker Cat 36 for raiding with a party of 8 people. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you for bringing your wonderful community over. I appreciate that. If you have not seen this channel before, I'm A Difficult Truth. I do the news, I do the politics. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. You can check out my show on this space on Tuesdays. I think that was a sports ball reference. 7. Have a nice stream, Holmes. Thank you so much, and thank you for choosing A Difficult Truth to bring your wonderful folks in. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Cuba was the main villain and the USSR was still very alive, so the context is different as to make comedy somewhat resonant back in my day. Yeah. Yeah, especially in the 80s and whatnot. As Cubans were coming here.
So these guys come in, but regardless of what you think of him as a Secretary of State, you've got to say this guy was.
Well,
many hats.
I wonder what segment, what like actually substantive segment that they cut in favor of that, because we know that.
Appreciate that. That is awesome, and it's always a joy. It's always a joy, like when folks choose your channel to bring in their people. Okay. That's always a nice feeling. That's why I like raiding out too. One day I will get 1,000 subscribers and I'll be able to do it on YouTube too. The raid takes so damn long to kick in. Like after the stream ends, it'll raid you instead of at the end. YouTube. If it took me like so long to figure out how to moderate, change the moderation settings. Okay, like. It literally is a pain in my butt to fumble around YouTube Studio to try to figure any of this out. It is god awful. It is god awful. Woke and failing Looney Tunes 9000 got 1,000 subscribers for being woke. His streams are so woke they're failing in the ratings. Stop watching him. Thank you for your attention to this matter. How do you think BC knows about this channel? Word of mouth. People like you folks, like Soul Life, who brings people over, is how it happens. It's just so frustrating sometimes with the way Twitch works, or rather with the way YouTube works. YouTube rating is is not gonna lie. Yeah, I didn't know that you could do YouTube raids, and then I tried to do YouTube raids, and then it didn't. And then it didn't work because I didn't have 1,000 subscribers. It's true, I made 1K last night. Nice. Round of applause. That is no small feat. Socialist revolutions in Cuba and Venezuela displaced the rich oligarch class. They moved to Miami and they're conservative. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The magic of Polymarket Studios.
22 Cuts likes to cut things.
Well, let's look at there was another moment actually that was a little bit more serious, and that was
well, my issue is that there's more than one way of like there's different settings. Like it's not all just like, hey, go to your stream manager and then like everything is there. It doesn't work that way.
Tony Two Cuts went back to Miami, and it turns out Miami is his hometown.
Oh,
why do you give a fuck?
And excuse me.
Sorry.
Wait, how dare you say that? This is the news.
This is a larger problem with. I was home watching the local news, and they spent like 5 minutes on a video of like
language, Matt. This is unacceptable. What? That is awesome. I think I have over 1,400 subscribers from when I streamed on Google Plus in 2013. They probably have additional hurdles, so I wouldn't be able to do it on YouTube if I touched it for the first time in 10 plus years. Wow. But that's still pretty impressive. Potty mouth socialist, yeah.
Schoolers saying what they appreciated about the year.
Well,
this is as frivolous as that.
Like, except for local news.
At least, yeah.
You know,
there's
like it could
some
possibly
interest,
be
yeah.
like we don't have, we're only doing local stuff and we only got so much news going on here.
North Dakota.
But this is the news meant for 330 million Americans. We've only got
This stream reminds me of that meme of a kid eating ice cream in the front of an ad with another kid's eating ice cream. That's how we do things here. You're gonna get 1K this month. Trust me, Poppy. I hope so. I'm gonna raise that into existence. Is ladder hack cursing? Jesus, effing Christ. Otherwise, I don't see him.
the 30 minutes minus the 6 minutes of commercial breaks.
It's you gotta be potty mouth socialist. That's how we're gonna win. Potty mouth socialism, okay? That's the new thing we gotta push.
Do this in. So we got to get every moment to count.
Let's inform the
But what's
public.
important is that Tony's a real guy. And he's got real childhood memories.
And scars.
And he's got real childhood memories. And sometimes he gets choked up.
You said this is your favorite place in the world. Why? Why South Florida and Miami?
Oh, it makes me emotional. It's so funny. I didn't think it would catch it. Because you only have one childhood, right? So let me get a second
No,
here.
you're okay. I can relate. This is home.
I remember playing N64 in Mom's basement.
Guard with this segment we prepared.
People will to help people understand why I have such a reaction.
Trauma must be, right?
Pharmacological imbalance?
That must be coming up. Trauma.
Florida is where I grew up.
Would you?
I just cry so easy.
We didn't get a lot of sleep. So. Yeah, my grandmother's here, my father, my mother, my aunts and uncles, cousins. And it's where I would have spent all of my childhood, but we left because of my father. He got in some trouble with business. It's like, we laugh about it now. But
Whoa, hold on. Let's rewind the clock about 2 seconds. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I call him Tawny 2 Techs because he totes 2 techs after he blasts. He asks who's next. What a crash out. Do you cry like this when you think about Miami? I can neither confirm nor deny any of these statements, okay? Next time I'm down in Florida, I'll make my own video in front of the Arepaso, okay?
Let me look into that.
But he was a drug dealer, he went to jail. It's kind of a ha-ha thing that we say now, but the reason it's so emotional for me is because I feel like I was robbed of the full Miami experience.
Sounds like you got
So when I come back, I'm always like,
Wait, it sounds like you got exactly the Miami experience. What are you talking about? Do you even live in Miami? Can we get some tears for your birthplace? It's a big city, okay? It's a big city and there's too many clowns. There's too many clowns in Miami. I'm not gonna lie. I will not be repatriated alive. I'm kind of stuck here, so that's not my choice.
That was a busted drug dealer.
I really love it here. Yeah.
But it changed the trajectory of your life. You may not be back here today had you stayed here in the first place. You
People
never
are thinking
know.
this is so crazy, but like this should have been my home for the whole stretch, right? So to have it and then to lose it,
Yeah,
it just kind
that
of
is the Miami experience. I've seen Scarface.
rocks me. So I didn't expect to feel that, but whenever I'm here, it really does feel deeply like home. And I wish it had stayed home, you know?
Then stay, okay? Then move to Florida, okay? If Florida's such a great place, then go there.
I know that's how a lot of people hear.
Talk to a therapist.
He moved to Maryland when he was 6 years old.
Well, it sounds like, I mean, it's obviously the trauma of his father going to jail because of, he wrote a book about this, and I think this is definitely something that might be interesting to someone watching something other than the news. I
don't know. If I was his therapist, my eyes would start glazing over anyway.
I mean, I suppose one likes to think that one is not necessarily that like sort of easily triggered.
You're buffering because OBS just dropped the stream again. Because of course, I don't know. Honestly, I think the source of all my problems, I think the source of all my problems are basically like, related to OBS. So there's gonna come a day where I'm gonna get tired of OBS and I'm going to jettison it into the sun, and I'm gonna try to figure out some other way of doing it, that allows me to still use the thing that I am able to do with something different. But until then, I've been fighting the fight. Yeah. And some might argue that the problem with OBS is a second order problem, largely at least stemming from capitalist motor production. Yeah. You can add to the rocket carrying all the world's garbage that I designed when I was 8. At least that's why it sucks so bad for you. Yeah, I mean, it's a great software on paper. On paper, it's great. And I think it's very comprehensive and very intuitive and very modular. I can do anything the way I stream is exactly the way I want to stream. I can customize stuff. I can add effects to my microphone. I can do effects with my camera. Do you see the little circle? Yeah, the little circle, just like Matt, or well, Matt's more like a squirrel, not a circle, but yeah, I think that OBS is incredibly intuitive, and the fact that it's given me so much problems, or maybe it's not even me, maybe it's not even OBS, maybe it's just my computer. Maybe it's just my computer. I don't know. Try updating OBS. I do. It updates itself. I don't have to do anything. It always does its updates. In fact, it recently updated not that long ago. Anyways, a lot of places add something and paywall it, and it seems to work for them. I was going to say, what exactly is capitalist about a free open source software, OBS? I think that you can add paid stuff to it. But yeah, I think that's the source of the issues. I don't know. Maybe it's just an aging computer, but this isn't that old of a computer either. Because I'm also thinking like maybe that's also the source of my camera problems. I deleted the virtual camera from OBS, and I've had a lot less issues with my camera. Maybe it's just my computer that's not handling everything. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. When this computer finally craps out, I will eventually get a new one and see if that ends up being the problem, but who knows. Until then, we soldier on just like this.
I can tell you that
Are you going to address
When you go home to Worcester?
No, we did a live show in Worcester during the break, but we had to scrap it because Sam was too emotional.
No, I just
We only got 3 minutes on the news for this, Sam.
I know. We
Take your time.
It's all right. It's all right.
Plenty of time. We'll just kick off the El Salvador segment.
Saul had asked me about Asteroids, the video game the other day, and one of the things I did in Worcester was to go downtown to the Dream Machine at the Worcester Center Mall and play Asteroids, and I just remember the day that the machine was out of order, and I was like, I'm gonna go play Centipedes, and I had $1, and it was I put it into the change machine and nothing came out, and of course they didn't have somebody working at the Dream Machine that day.
You were robbed of your
And
experience?
I just walked around and didn't have the $1, and now it's like you can't. There's no arcades where they tore down the center.
You only get one child.
They took it from you.
Yeah.
And
look
you
at
want to
what
go back.
Look at what they took from you.
I love this. This is exactly why you watch the Majority Report, okay? Heat, how's it going? It's almost like he used to be an actor or something. This is peak, okay? This is peak Majority Report stuff. Yeah, the overlay is what I'm talking about. I can customize so much stuff. I had a laptop from 2001 back in 2012. It was like 4 inches thick, but it was the world's first laptop designed to replace a desktop. That thing worked forever. I regifted it in 2014. Nice. You should check out how much your video RAM you're using. Just because it's a newer computer doesn't mean you have the VRAM. That's true. That's true. This probably doesn't have that much. It has like, I think if I remember correctly when I got it, it was, and I put some extra, extra RAM on it. So it has like 24 gigabytes of regular RAM. And I think it has like 4 gigabytes of VRAM, which is not a lot, but I also don't play video games on this thing, so I don't know. I think this is a lot to do. It could be that's 4 gigabytes for streaming. Might not be enough. I don't know. Maybe it's just showing its age, or lack of VRAM, not age, but yeah. I enjoyed Sam's appearance in Sex and the City, actually. Yep, wasn't he in like several episodes, or was it just like a couple of cameos? I don't remember. I never watched Sex and the City. Sam is owed like $20 and some change by now with interest. He was Miranda's friend from California. Gotcha.
Hey.
Why on earth do any, like, I wouldn't care if that was Cronkite back from the, like, dead.
Oh, I
asked
know.
about that. Like,
Henry Kissinger, we salute you.
it's like being back
I mean,
home.
like, listen, I mean, it's,
Remember that laptop had an IR blaster and that did stuff on its own? I used to change the channel on the TV at my ex's house randomly. I never told anyone. I just played dumb when it happened. That's actually cool. I never even thought about that on a laptop. That's the last thing I would think of. That's hilarious.
If you want to talk on point about, like, yeah, it was difficult. I have associations of having to move here, which was sort of traumatic because my father went to jail in a way that was unjust for marijuana laws at the time. And so, Miami, I have a weird reaction, et cetera, et cetera. And, maybe that's on, like, what was that? What was that show on? That wasn't on the CBS.
Yeah, I used to not watch, I really did not watch a lot of Sex and the City. In fact, I think I like maybe have had glances of episodes when it used to come on TV. But yeah. Never watched a lot of Sex and the City, to be honest.
News, right?
I couldn't tell you what it was about.
CBS like morning show or something.
I had an
right?
LG G3 phone that had IR. That makes a little bit more sense. That makes a little bit more sense than a whole computer having IR.
And it couldn't have been.
It has the CBS News logo
Yeah,
on the lower left.
You made the right choice, Matt.
Well,
This could have been. Doesn't it seem like
please
it's a?
tell me that was not at the
No,
CB
it's on the evening news.
CBS Evening News, they tweeted this out.
No.
Yes,
their clip.
It's on CBS Evening News. Look at the
Chiron.
the watermark.
No, maybe it was. Oh my God.
Here it is. Yeah, I would not expect IR to be on a laptop.
This is a part, I think, of the
No.
same segment about Rubio because it's all about how Florida's amazing, basically.
They're doing like a tour. They're going to a bunch of cities.
Yeah,
This
and,
is-
and by
He's
the
gonna
way,
cry in
like
every
El
city.
Arepaso is a very famous like Mexican. The El Arepaso is a very famous Venezuelan chain. So yeah. Back when I still watched TV, Jimmy Carter said if he knew who shot JR, he would have enough campaign funds to win the election.
Yeah, I mean,
So like what? Just give a.
Incidentally, they killed an Epstein. Was it? Or they kill another story on 60 Minutes the other night, or no?
the CCOT one has not even on the calendar though. In terms
Hermit Horologist, I don't know if I said hello, welcome.
of like, there seems like they're just
Hey, we got Tony to cry about being like missing his childhood. Like, this
some
guy's clearly
self-respect.
a head case.
I'm sorry. but,
Everything
like,
about him.
I know, like, even
Yep.
putting the propaganda stuff aside, like, don't you feel like a little bit of a little bitch making this all about you on national television? I mean,
I mean-
Cronkite would never.
This is all that like it's all this sort of Arrested Development stuff.
I
like
know.
the best sort of like Barry Weiss is like the cleanest propagandist, and she's like immediately discreditable just by looking at her resume. Like this guy.
I mean,
like,
bring back shame.
Well,
Seriously.
to be fair,
yeah, well,
the reporting is that Dokapol was actually the third person.
If I may, I don't think that's coming back, man. I don't know. Like I don't know. It might take a long time before like this whole like shame thing comes back, okay? Like the shame for being like a garbage POS, okay? That's not coming back for a while. I wish it was that easy. I wish it was that easy to just bring back shame and have and be able to shame people for being garbage, for being bigoted, for being hateful. But I don't know. It's gonna be a minute and a half, okay?
On the list
Yeah.
that they wanted. They wanted Brett Baer
And Anderson Cooper.
and Anderson Cooper. And then I suspect, I got to be honest, I also suspect that there were other people that they asked who, maybe internally who were like,
Have you checked your inbox yet, Sam?
No.
self-respect particle detected.
Exactly. I suspect that is my guess. Is that
That's the times when being a Nazi was shunned by society. Me too. Me too. I want to live in that world again. It's really up to us, right? It's really up to us.
An open email that says literally anybody else is the subject.
Last
line.
call. Any takers?
We didn't even bring this part up, but if people don't recognize this guy, he was also the racist
Ta-Nehisi
that said to Ta-Nehisi Coates that his book, which included a chapter about how Palestinians are treated by the Israelis, would be found in the backpack of a terrorist.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
And so this is even more pathetic, I'm sorry, than Fox News or other right-wing propaganda, because they fundamentally know that their audience is dumb and they know that they're manipulating them. But Barry Weiss is out there trying to create out of whole cloth interest from like the entire country. CBS is basic cable. It's supposed to be broadcast for everybody, and is trying to manufacture a politics that is so
Make Vergonia great again.
deeply unpopular. It doesn't even have a constituency like the Fox News people do, except rich guys and rich Zionists in power, basically.
there's a lot of different ways you can make utility of that by simply saying using the CBS imprimatur. I mean,
I
that's
know.
how Dick Cheney sold the Iraq War. was published in the New York Times.
But they're not even doing it artfully.
Not yet.
Atmosphere. With Maduro now out, that base of power and influence could be out too. All right, to other news, as you just heard from Jill. Well, to other news now, to Governor Walz. No, we're going to do Mark Kelly. First day, big problems here.
First
day, big problem. So the big problem being that the administration is retaliating against Mark Kelly for being on the video stating that service members should remember their oath, and service members should also remember that they can be held accountable for following illegal orders, and has now faced backlash and reprisal from the administration. Yeah, Tony 2 cuts.
Big problems. Well handled.
We're going to go into Jonah Kaplan.
Big problems.
We're doing Mark Kelly, possibly demoted from his retired rank of captain in the Navy. Hegseth issued what's known as a letter of censure for the Arizona Democrat over his participation in a video that called on service members to defy illegal orders without specifying which orders he had in mind. Hegseth.
Right, because he's just saying that service members shouldn't follow illegal orders, regardless of what those orders are. He didn't specify for exactly that reason. What he's describing is the administration retaliating and weaponizing the bureaucracy to punish perceived political opponents. That's the reality. Mercado stream is up. It looks damn cold.
Called what the former combat pilot and astronaut did an act of sedition. Now we go to Minnesota. A surprise announcement from the Great Lake State.
Well, first off, here's a tip. When you're having big problems, you don't.
No, I don't use Microsoft Paint. I haven't touched that software in like quite a minute. Like sometimes I'll boot up like Microsoft Paint, or well, it's not Paint anymore, right? It's something else. Or maybe there's a alternative to Paint, to resize some images, to make emotes, stuff like that. But I don't really use Paint. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a great graphic designer. Okay, that's not my jam.
Don't want to say big problems.
Yeah.
Like I barely even know how like Photoshop or GIMP, which is the which is like the free version or the open source version of what Photoshop or something like that. Yeah, I have no idea how any of that works. It's just like it's a lot of times it's just me shooting from the hip. Okay. It's a lot of times it's just me shooting from the hip. Like for example, the Tim Pool meme that the Tim Pool emote that I did for the Discord server. I just resized the image and yeah, make sure it's a square. And just send me the image and I'll do it for you. Thank you. They have to call it GIMP.
You know, you can say things like, "Well, folks, this is what happens with live television."
Yeah.
I can tell you, believe me. And hopefully we'll get these kinks ironed out. But back to the news.
Don't just be like, I'm panicking.
But I also just like how the fact that, I mean, just outside of this sort of like problems with forum and sort of dealing with those incidents that come up, Mark Kelly had nothing to say about that? we just hear Pete Hegseth's justification as to why Mark Kelly.
And now it's like a subscription, right? Like now Photoshop is a subscription, isn't it? Like, what? What is that? I know like folks need it for work and stuff, but geez.
Should be demoted and attacked for literally putting a video out that says, you should remember your oath says that you don't follow illegal orders.
Yep.
Mark Kelly had nothing to say
And the
about it.
caveat, he did make it clear which orders.
Right.
Illegal
Yeah.
orders is pretty clear.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Also, here's some
Orders that are
unflattering
illegal.
Pretty. I feel like I understand it.
Yeah, you're right. Well, yeah, but you've had it.
Yeah. Please don't demote me in retirement. That would really hurt my feelings.
Oof, he's gonna get all his commissary taken away. He's gonna get his commissary taken away. Not even the student subscription is something that should be considered affordable. Yeah, there's a competitor to Photoshop that just got updated to compete even more. It's free too, I believe. I meant to check it out. Nice.
He's senator now, and now he's you know, whatever. The freaking guy was an astronaut.
Yeah.
Smarty Pants thinks he's better than me.
Calling from a 617 area code.
Tony Two Cuts.
I'm going to need a minute. 617 is the area code that I grew up with prior to the time that they switched it to 508 because they ran out of numbers in central Massachusetts. And so when I was a kid, my first three numbers on my area code was 617. And now when I talk to someone from Worcester, it's their number starts with 508. So I'm just, go ahead. What's your name? I know where you're calling.
I'm so happy to be a part of this moment. This is Manu from. I'm from North Boston, but I'm now live in West Virginia. So
West Virginia starts with a W, and where I grew up, Worcester also starts with a W.
Mountain Roads also took me home.
That's true. There are seven hills in Worcester, just like Rome and Paris.
I grew up really close to Kowloon's. I'm not sure if you ever performed there, but I grew up.
I actually did perform at Kowloon's. I specifically have actually told this story to Brian. I went up there and remember doing a joke to the effect of, I know what you're thinking. What's Andre Bresson doing up here? And someone in the audience turned to his buddy and said, I told you he was a fag. They since closed Kowloon's. It's gone. I think that maybe if I had told a different joke, I would have had more opportunity to play at Kowloon's. But now it's gone, and I never will.
Sam needs to tighten up his impressions. They're great, but he drags them out too long. It ruins it, in my opinion. No, this is perfect.
Very happy to be a part of this moment, but I just wanted to quickly call and obviously thank you folks for all the work that you do. But I think, especially just given it, I almost wanted to basically encourage over the past half year.
He is a ham. My phone number is German now. Nice. My phone number is still from where I used to live. Emma didn't laugh at the slur. Good, neither did I. He makes a hell of a Schumer. He does. I like when he does the Schumer expression. Is that an RFK impression? No. He's impersonating the Fox News guy. He's impersonating the Fox News guy. Woke, a difficult truth is failing to acknowledge this show is failing in the ratings. Woke CNN, MSNBC Cedar. Welcome, Read and Rap. Schumer's lost even the Baileys to Sam. News says federal agents shot 2 people in Portland. Seriously? That's not great. That's not great. Hold on. That is very disturbing. That is very disturbing. This must be breaking news because I don't see anything yet. But I'm sure things are gonna start trickling in.
Here, at least, a lot of the callers you've had a lot of callers who call in worrying about like Graham Plattner or the direction, very reasonable and or unreasonable parts of the direction of the Democratic Party. But the last, few days, let alone week or obviously past year or so, to me, it's just. I feel like, especially with the murder that occurred.
Oh, you can send it to me via Whispers Ground Level News. Portland had a nice shooting too. Apparently, it just happened. Federal agents. We're gonna take a look in a second.
in Minneapolis today. I really applaud you folks for just. I don't know. I like whether the listeners are pro or against, whether it's Plattner or various things. It's just, today just makes me feel even more emotional and energized to really hunker down and focus on what can we do as a movement, as a group that will lead to less immiseration of people. And I really hope that folks can just see what's gone on. And
I just said they heard this and looking into it. Jeez,
is going on such that. We don't get bogged down in the weeds, or we just don't get lost in various things that may be important to discuss at some point and in some forums, but maybe not when countries are being in the process of being overthrown or people are being murdered for protesting and so on.
You're making a very reasonable plea for focus and prioritization of anti-fascist measures, which is definitely where we're at.
And the truth is, people get it. I mean, you get an outsized volume level from those folks online, but like the sort of like DSA is a pointless project, or running on a damn ballot line is a pointless project. Like all those like specifically Green Party people, they're on the sidelines, and all they can do is say not like that, as they don't do anything.
Right.
It's border agents. So this is breaking. This is breaking literally just a couple of hours ago. Apparently, Customs and Border Protection agents shot 2 people in Portland, and this afternoon the shooting occurred near East Burnside. The condition of the people are immediately known. So yeah, this is not this is becoming really quickly a dry bed of tinder, and it's not good. This is a really dry bed of tinder with a lit match ready to go. That's what this looks like to me. That's not great. That's not great at all. And you know what? All of these people should be prosecuted 100,000%. That ICE agent that killed that woman in Minneapolis should be prosecuted for murder. Anyone that protects him should be prosecuted. I don't know if it's gonna happen right now. But I don't think there's statute of limitations for murder. And just to be clear, like, if obviously, as Nadia points out, if the FBI, the federal government, isn't going to do anything, then the state government can prosecute these people. There's nothing stopping the state of Minneapolis right now going in and arresting this guy and prosecuting him. Nothing's stopping them from doing that. Just saying.
That, and part of it,
we'll talk about that in just a second.
We're trying to project in a very inhospitable environment, so there are going to be, stumbles and stuff like that, and those are going to be dealt with. But a lot of it is just that sort of never having done anything and only being used to critique. And but I think like Zoran and like people are proving, like, it's not just Zoran, and Seattle just elected a DSA mayor too. Yeah. Like, people are actually doing this stuff despite all the people who are saying not like that on the internet. And so I think the people that are like us, that want to see things done and aren't just like trying to like do symbolic manipulations, should take heart and not get so bogged down in the fact that there's a vocal minority that doesn't want to see anything actually happen.
Well, and especially because of, when you hear about how Susan Collins, for example, reacted to the stuff in Venezuela, and it's just the usual pablum of like, well, I would really like to hear an explanation as to why they did X, Y, Z. And it's just, and in my mind, I'm like, look, I understand that it's not bimodal and it's not like support one person or you get Susan Collins, but like Emma said, that focus is super important, because otherwise we're just going to be stuck in a room full of Collinses and Fettermans and all.
That's true. That's true. But like, also, like, we have to understand that also, even if we do have better people in Congress, it's up to us to get out there and mobilize the working class, right? Like, that is literally our job. As left-leaning people, as leftists, our job is to go out there and motivate the working class, unite the working class. It doesn't matter if we have better people or worse people in Congress or whatever. It's our job to continue to unite and mobilize the working class. That's literally our job, and that can be done in however way you see fit, and that's the cool part. That's the cool part. And in whatever way you see fit, whether it be doing podcasts, whether it be making art, whether it be getting out there and protesting, whether it be starting your own chapter of DSA in a area that doesn't have any DSA, whether it be contributing $10 or whatever a month to the DSA, to your local DSA, whether it be showing up to work to volunteer at food kitchens, whatever. Community gardens, it doesn't matter. The point being is that our job as leftists, as left-leaning people who believe in uniting the working class to make a better world, is to do that. We have to raise class consciousness. That's our job, and however way you see fit of doing that. I think they want to provoke the public into escalation. I think so. I think that's true. The Christo-fascist regime, with or without Trump, has largely declared war on major blue cities. True, my Republican insider said they wanted to turn blue cities into American Gazas. They're just straight up killing people. So yeah, there's no way through the legal process, because they've all been rigged to keep the crucial changes from ever happening. I don't disagree that there's a lot of barriers to make actual change from happening. So it's more like while we participate in the electoral part of the system, regardless of what we believe, it doesn't mean that is how the story ends, because it can't just be, oh, I cast a ballot every 4 years and then I go to sleep, right? That's not how that works at all. At least for us. You can't expect to vote your way out of the situation that we have, but it doesn't mean you leave that tool on the table. It's all it is just not ceding that to the enemy, and understanding that it's not just electoralism that gets us out of this place. I agree with you. I don't know
if you saw Plattner's response to the Venezuela thing, but it was better than any elected, I mean, we've had some great statements, AOC, Van Hollen, whatever, Bernie Sanders, but Graham's was the best I've seen.
No, I agree. That 1000%. That is a great example. The Senate.
Awesome. I'll check it out. I don't want to take too much of your time, but 100%. Thanks, folks. I appreciate you. Stay safe.
I appreciate it.
Cheers, folks.
I've been told, I should just say, the Kowloon apparently is still open. But after 75 years, the reports are that it's going to be torn down.
It's not the same as when you were a kid.
You gonna be all right?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Okay.
Do you remember what it was like in the 90s?
Incidentally.
Oh, that was that Sam just caught a stray there from Matt. Sam just caught a stray there from Matt. Okay.
I mean, for those who've never been to the Kowloon, it seats like 4,000 people.
Wow.
It is huge. Like, I'm not being that.
Did you fill that arena?
No. You're in like one tiny corner of it. It is, but it is a 75-year-old.
I don't know, electoralism or piss
I don't know
balloons.
if you could call it strictly Chinese.
No, it can't just be that. You have to understand that the system is not gonna work just simply by voting your way out of things. It's not, even if you have like very good candidates in office, right? Like, you still have to make sure that you are out there, right? And continuing to push for progressive politics, right? Emma's a savage, I agree. Bet I can piss balloon my way out. I miss the 90s too. Me too. The 90s for me were filled with Pokemon and cartoons. And can we go back to that? Like, there nothing beat like turning on not Toonami. Well, Toonami was a little bit later, I think. I forget what it's called. Was it Toonami? I don't know. and watching Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball. Without a care in the world, right? Being young, no responsibilities whatsoever except making sure that, you ate and went to school. In that day and age, Power Rangers, that was a big one for me. Okay, so it was Toonami in the 90s, but that was kind of more like in the later 90s. Power Rangers were big for me. The Game Boy was my first console, technically. The big gray brick. All of that. Not a care in the world. I love Power Rangers too. Big fan. The FBI closed the investigation already on the Minnesota thing. Yeah, I'm gonna... Oh, well, that might be an update to the update. But we're definitely gonna talk about that in a second. Looney Tunes on Cartoon Network. Yeah, like... actually, yeah, I did watch a lot of Looney Tunes. Here back, Uber, don't end stream. No, we have a couple of things to talk about before we go.
It was just like anything Asian. That was it. Kowloon. It's in Saugus. I'm trying to think of how many they seat there.
Is there a better Massachusetts name for a town than Saugus?
Saugus?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, folks. Saugus. Okay, so I think what Nadia was talking about, that might be an update to the update. Protests are getting spicy in Minnesota. Yeah, so this is what we have as of yet. Like, trust me, I think that this is absolutely on brand with this administration. That being said, we'll just cover this here. You can send it to me via whispers. Nadia, just send it to me in like a direct message. I hope you make it so life. You need to globalize the enchilada. I agree. Minnesota officials say they can't access evidence after fatal ICE shooting and that the FBI won't jointly work on the investigation. So that's cool. Cartoon Network, yeah. I used to love... Well, actually, Cartoon Network wasn't something that I had access to until a little bit later in the 2000s. So I may have like my timelines off. What I did used to watch in the mornings, in early back in the day was WB, is what I'm talking about. WB, WB Kids. I think it was it 4Kids? Like WB for Kids. Which later became CW. But yeah, it was old WB. They played Pokemon on that. Just smack this thing. Cartoon Network came along for me later because we didn't have Cartoon Network. My first console was the NES. Nice. Kids WB, I think. With the questionable WB frog. Yes, I remember this. Core memories are just being unlocked right now. That's how I used to watch Pokemon. In the morning, Saturday morning cartoons. Remember Reboot? No, I'm gonna have to refresh my memory on that. Actually, you know what? I can just look it up. Yeah, it's not coming out. Oh, these guys say it's closed.
I think it's close. We may have hit the tipping point. We may not. The 2 shot in Portland.
Oh my god.
I think they said hang Kristi Noem, kill
freedomnews.tv. I feel like I've seen this channel before. I feel like I've seen this channel before.
One protester shouted, 2 wrongs don't make a right. And they're about to challenge her on. This is New York. My understanding is this is New York right now. As I'm going to play another minute of this so that at least we can sort of understand the mood that we're talking about. Oh, it's not frozen. Okay, then good. And then we'll move on because we do have our regularly scheduled show in about 2 hours, and I do think Greg Terry's going to be worth seeing. So I'm going to set up a raid so you guys can go see him.
Take that one. Listen, you don't got to change it if you ain't ready. But some of us are pissed off, aren't we?
How do I whisper? By going on to Twitch. Yeah, I remember this. The frog, the WB frog.
One's Renee good. When I say Renee Nicole good, you say presente.
Presente.
We'll see. That's dangerous rhetoric, and I've heard that before. The last time I heard that was January 6th. That's the last time I heard that. So let's maybe keep that in mind. At any rate, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up. We're going to send you to Greg Terry. Please do say hi to him for me. I'm going to drop into because I want to see what's going on with the missiles. And then tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be discussing more of this.
Yeah, so I think the title
or
is...
the officer had to fire a defensive shot. Obviously, that is absolutely full of it. Okay, so she was...
I think they go through this more in the beginning.
Yeah, so she had apparently just dropped off her children about one child a third of a mile away. She was married to a woman who was the one who was giving her CPR and trying to save her life. She has been previously married to a man who has spoken out and said that she was not an activist. She was not an agitator.
Time to be dangerously unselfish.
And that he can see...
that's a great way of putting it.
No reason for why she is dead. And I got to tell you something. Well, we always got to be careful with the gallows humor. But if your ex, if your divorced spouse is coming to your defense, that's pretty impressive.
I mean, if I may, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. Not just because you're an ex doesn't mean like you have a bad relation, right? Like I don't feel like that always is the case, but okay.
All right. So what we're looking at is the National Guard being deployed on the side of the police. We have ICE, soda. ICE does not. ICE represents the federal authorities. And that's one reason why yesterday, and we haven't spoken to or seen much, and we're gonna to the best of our ability to determine is not what happened. So we'll see how tempers go. We showed you yesterday a man receiving that huge pepper bowl to the face. I think right now, I think it's very safe to say there's going to be no real investigation of the officer that did this. I think just based on the video footage alone, there has to be a thorough investigation because
no kidding. Like, I think the point being is that what Nadia was saying is like there's from the federal side, it seems like it seems to me like they're not probably going to do anything about it. So I think that the state should prosecute. I think the state should prosecute them. Like, why does it have to be the feds? It doesn't have to be. Cops always get away with murder, but so brazenly. I mean, like, it's one thing, you know what I mean? Like, cops get a lot of immunity and cops get away with a lot of stuff. But like, this is so. It's on video in broad daylight in front of multiple witnesses. This is beyond. I don't know who this guy is, but they're far better people to watch. I mean, I got like a cursory kind of understanding of what he's trying to say. I just heavily disagree with like that characterization. When communists overthrow government does not equal when fascists overthrow government. Yep, they're not like us. I don't know how the Minnesota's protests and temperatures that cold. They're built different. It'll get blown up into a pretext for a coup. Yeah. It took a white woman getting killed to spark outrage. And the United States? Yeah. They're very brazen. Yep. You gotta be ready to fight for what's right and not be so lost in a moral equivocation that when you see fighting back against literal Nazis. Yeah. I think that's a great point. Because like it is very different when you are fighting a oppressive force, right? Very, very, very different. Very different. Yeah, really good outerwear and underwear. March is starting at the Minnesota protest. Can you send me a link to that channel, please? I don't know if you can put it on the chat, or can at least like you can copy. Oh, Mercado Media. Yeah, that's right. I can just look for it. And better late than never. Welcome to the party, but sure, feel at least a little bit embarrassed. Yep. Mercado's a kick-ass streamer from the BLM days. Nice. I agree. But hey, yeah. At this point in time, like this stuff can't continue. This stuff can't continue, and it also cannot be normalized at all. It cannot be normalized at all. I think here.
I'm also a lifelong Southsider. I grew up alongside Hmong, Somali, and Hispanic neighbors. The same neighbors are being terrorized by a fascist occupier force right now. These are my friends I grew up with. They have families of their own now that are in school and college. Those families are being ripped apart by fascist fucking pigs. And now we have fascist murderers in our streets. They murdered Renee Nicole Good.
Yep.
Broad daylight yesterday.
I'm just gonna pause this. I wonder if I can like have it shrink, but can I theater mode? Can I pop this out? Because that'd be really cool if I can pop it out while reading the news, but Oh, you know what? Why don't we listen?
Is that what we are seeing?
No, we won't be able to listen and understand. YouTube needs a basic way to drop a link to another channel. Yeah, I know. YouTube needs a lot of stuff in terms of live streaming, but yeah. I just think of the Palestinians who had spent almost a century of occupation or American slaves during the enduring entire centuries, and I don't even know how you do it. Sheer will to live. Sheer will to live, my friend. It's the same as we go back to 64 Mississippi civil rights murders. It took 2 white guys being killed for the FBI to do anything. Yeah. This is America. It will come to a contest of arms. If the left plays Gandhi, they'll be massacred as per Orwell and Gandhi. I don't foresee the left here being much but defeated. But it's not just the left. I think I think that it requires all of us. I think it requires all of us. That's right, that can only be it. Yeah, just sheer will to live as the human. Look, I like living, okay? And I feel like as fellow human beings, most just kind of have that instinct, and that is what helps endure the most horrific things that you can imagine, recent and historically, and now going on right now. It's just that sheer will. So piggybacking off all this kind of stuff that's happening, with this. I do think that there is some. I do think that the FBI is probably not going to prosecute this. The FBI is probably, like the video suggested, gonna close the case and say it was self-defense and call it a day. But it just kind of rewinding the clocks a couple hours ago. The Minnesota State Investigations Agency says the U.S. attorneys have cut off its access to the fatal shooting of the Minneapolis woman by an ICE agent. You mean the murder? You mean the murder? The investigation would now solely be led by the FBI and the BCA, and would now the BCA would no longer have access to case materials, scene evidence, or investigative interviews necessary to complete a thorough and independent investigation. It had been decided that the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension would investigate Good's shooting, death, murder, along with the FBI, but later that was changed by the attorney's office. So again, at any given point, the state can decide to prosecute instead of the feds. If the feds are not going to do it, the Minneapolis state is going to have to. Sounds like 2 were shot in Portland. Yes, we just went over that. It sounds like 2 people were shot by Border Patrol. Details on that is very scarce. Other than it does appear that it happened. It does appear that 2 people were shot. The conditions of those 2 folks are unknown, and it was by Border Patrol, by CBP. Oh, I don't disagree. These people have been salivating, Nadia, for decades for this. I don't disagree. I don't disagree that these people have been salivating for the day. And thanks to all this situation, Trump might actually give it to them. I don't even know, like, if I even want to go through any of these headlines. I feel like I feel like just these last couple of news cycles have been so overwhelming that it's like we're look, Trump is exiting from crucial climate treaties that are important, and I want to bring attention to that, and I think I should, as a brief anecdote, as a brief what is it, just kind of statement, that the climate crisis is very much still in play. But we're also facing very, 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 very close and very short-term threats of fascism. How the climate is, it's not going to get any better, okay, under a fascist regime that is killing people in the streets. It's good to take a break. Yeah, it is. Do you prepare for civil war, world war? ¿Por qué no los dos? In line with this this whole like increasing, in line with this like fascist imperialist era that we're living in, Trump calls the U.S. military spending to rise more than 50% to $1.5 trillion because, you know, that's the fiscally conservative thing to do. Yeah, it was Border Patrol that killed 2. Well, we don't know the status of them unless that's changed. But they did shoot 2 people. Demoralizing, depressing, freaking scary. It is scary. President Trump has called for the defense spending to be increased in $1.5 trillion for what he called these troubled and dangerous times. So, incidentally, the troubled and dangerous times are what he's created. That would be more than 50% higher than the $901 billion budget. Which border they were patrolling? Washington, California, Portland. Portland. You know, the state that's right next to the border. Took a nap for 15 minutes. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm glad. I hope you had a good nap. I need to learn how to do that. I need to learn to take like power naps. If like 20-minute power naps. I wish I could do that, but never. Every time I try, it never works out. Yeah, the known border state of Portland, of Oregon. The host of UN HQ declaring itself in the business of taking heads hostage as retired ambassador, saying that the UN is likely collapsing alongside of NATO for Greenland threats. Yeah. I mean, if the US decides to invade Greenland, that's it. That's the end of, that's basically the end of NATO right there. In separate posts, the president said he would crack down on payouts to bosses and shareholders of US defense contractors unless the firm speeds up deliveries of armaments and builds new manufacturing plants. It helps to be old. That's true. Shares in major U.S. defense equipment makers Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Raytheon rose more than 5%. That's awesome. Economists have warned that the gap between U.S. spending and its income has reached unsustainable levels. But hey, why not more? Why not more? But Trump said Washington can easily hit his proposed $1.5 trillion in defense budget thanks to money being brought in with tariffs. This is delusional. That's not how that works. This is delusional. The amount of money being brought in by tariffs are just taxes being paid by importers. It's the end of the UN too. Yeah, I agree. If all this goes down, it's done. Yeah. All this tells me is that just to kind of move away from this because we've got to get out of here. But all that tells me is that he is preparing, or he thinks that he is preparing for a bigger conflict. That's why he wants an absurd budget of $1.5 trillion for the military, right? While this is obviously unsustainable spending, because he doesn't. This isn't about sustainability. This is in line with kind of the this vision of building up the military for the purpose of perhaps other imperialist projects in the next couple of years. We made 18 trillion, bajillion, gazillion in tariffs. We had a tornado this morning, and this weekend will be in the 40s. Yeesh. Real money to be put is from shutting down Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. Yep. The UN will have to evacuate to Switzerland. I think the UN should leave. I think the UN should leave. Should leave the building in the United States. I think they should prepare for a world. I think they should prepare for a scenario where it's no longer the UN, not really. And I think that the rest of the world should prepare, should unite and be prepared to be against the United States. That's just the way things are right now. It's scary. Kamala wanted the strongest military. Well, she got it right here. Boom! $1.5 trillion. That's what we wanted, right? BCAT, welcome. Manda the Pivot, welcome. Yeah, I wanted a real leftist. I think we all did. I think we all did. Anyways, folks, look at this. Before we go, look at this. It may be time to get pissed. It is time to get pissed, okay? I think so. It is time to get pissed. Look at this.
ICE!
Look at that. And that, by the way, that happened in hours. Okay. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization is the most plausible UN replacement, but it's not prepared for full global scope. The UN will become the NU or new union, and will contain every other country except the US. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. 10 minutes behind, but spite is a powerful driving force. Yep. What's the saying? If you're not angry, you're not paying attention. And seriously, if you feel, look, before we get out of here, if you feel, as Heat posted, depressed, anxious, scared, all of that is valid. Angry, demoralized, all of that is valid. And what we have to do is take that, okay, take that, because it is a very, these are all all of these are valid feelings, okay? Now let's take that, okay, let's take that and use it, okay? Use it. Now is the time. Now is the time, okay? Use it. Whatever it is that you can do, whatever it is that you are comfortable with doing, okay? Understand that this is not just about one person, okay? This is about all of us. This is about all of us. Now is that time. Now is that time to prepare. Now is that time to be prepared to be uncomfortable and unselfish, okay? Now is that time. Your neighbors need you, okay? Your neighbors need you right now. It's time to close ranks and prepare yourself mentally and physically. This is not just for yourself, this is for your neighbor, the person next to you, okay? The immigrant who is scared. Okay? Comfort them if you know somebody like that. Make art. Spread the word. Talk to your family. No, I can't allow comments like that. Sorry. See, this is why there is a moderation. I'm still way behind. I hope that was appropriate. I'm in Berlin. I'll be vaporized instantly when World War III breaks out. Well, maybe not instantly. We don't know. Oh, is there other chat? Is there chat stuff happening? There is always chat stuff happening. Protesting is against the law. No protesters or you get locked up. You know, back in my day, we used to leave them out on stretchers. A real quote that he said, by the way. I think he said in the good old days. Everyone take a breath and choose your friends carefully. That's a great... that is a very great... that is a very, great tip. How do I get back to my thing? This is why I hate YouTube Live. The UI is just so unintuitive. It's just so unintuitive. Every time I try to do something on the YouTube Live, it's just like, nope. Nope. Anyways, like, nope. Yeah, don't do anything rash. It's just like, understand that these feelings of anger and despair and all this other stuff, we need to channel that. We need to channel that and, you know, do this. Maybe 5K in that crowd? There's a lot. This is the kind of stuff I like to see. I'm without volume for 2 minutes and there's stuff happening in chat. I didn't even see it. Well, the safe haven is mostly Thailand if I can find a way to get there. When they end, raid the serfs for watching Candace Owens' court trial. Oh, good lord. Good lord. Good to hear the protests. Yep, Blue 2, welcome. Man to the Pivot. Hey, thank you for following over here. Appreciate that. It's like 9 p.m. Yeah. On a side note, Elon followed me on one of my socials, so there's that. Oof, I'm sorry to hear that. We see Blue Will Kenton. Bubba! Bubba. I gotta go take care. Thank you for stopping by. He'd appreciate it. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff, folks. No time wasted in getting out on the streets. And this is the kind of reaction that we need to push momentum, okay? To push momentum and awareness and get the normies on board. Because this needs to continue to be pushed. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, hold on 1 second. Okay, never mind. Yeah, this needs to build momentum, okay? These are scary and uncomfortable times. And this is these are the times when we need to channel that energy. Is our sensors fixed? Somewhat, yes. But don't make me put them back on. I just saw a protest pop up in DC too. Nice. Nice. F ICE, I agree. That's the stuff I do want to see. More protest. If the AFD here runs here, I'll go to Thailand. That's actually not a bad plan. That's not a bad plan. Hold on. Why is my camera go? Not a bad plan. We've got one starting here now. I didn't make it off work. Didn't time to go. No problem. But that's awesome too. That's really good to hear. You've got Kung Fu Film Sync. I know. I'm trying to fix it. I know. What if I do this? What if I deactivate my camera and then I go, whoop, activate. Boom. PG-13 is a hell of a lot better than Miss Rachel chat censor. Okay, this should be a lot better. Don't make me look. I love Miss Rachel. Okay, don't make me go Miss Rachel on chat. Okay. Okay, so I should have fixed it. I just rebooted the camera or put it back. Yeah, it's better now. All right, that works. All right, folks, it's time for me to get out of here. I know Trump isn't going to win anything in 26 and 28, Minnesota, Michigan, or Wisconsin. Not after this. I hope so. I hope so. To be clear, Miss Rachel is for kids, bro. Yeah, and this is a family-friendly channel, okay? Okay, this is a family-friendly channel, okay? I need to lose about 50 kilograms somehow. I believe in you. About to walk into the gym. Nice. I approve. Heck yeah, folks. I believe in you, folks. Alright, time for me to get out of here. It's about 7:30. I gotta get some food. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out. And, thank you. For being here. I appreciate it. Imagine that in Archer. We're all family here. Yes. Thank you, for the folks in YouTube and the folks on Twitch for supporting this channel. If you want to support the channel directly, there are many different ways of doing so. Please feel free to join the Discord and hang out there as well. Thank you, Michael Hasser, and thank you, Heat, for modding the chat. I appreciate you guys. We'll be back on Monday after 5 p.m. Eastern time, roughly. Thank you all. As always, folks, stay safe. Seriously. See y'all at Leftist Mafia. Stay safe. Oh, and check out my show on this space at 7 p.m. Tuesdays, every 7 p.m. Otherwise, we're here Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay? Please go subscribe. Thank you, BCat. Appreciate it. Thank you to all the folks that are here. We'll be back on Monday. It's been a weird 2 days. Been a weird 2 days with nothing working as normal. All this just like bombardment of stuff. But we're here. We're still here, folks. As always, please stay safe, and I genuinely do mean that. Please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Tuesday at this space, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Alright, thank you all. See ya! Oh, it's not even the right one. Look at that. Thank you, Kirkenstein. Alright, folks, we're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2,